Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, Vanity Pride. I did get a new phone today, so the image might look a little bit weird, more zoomed in. I actually had to kind of back up a little bit, because, I would have been, right here in your face, so my glasses would have been, cropped up. It wasn't gonna look pretty. So I'll kind of play around, during the week and see how I can fix the image for next week. Anyway, enough about that. As usual, I do want to touch base on a few Danganronpa 2 theories, and then we'll dive into the chapter. I think this review overall is going to be pretty short. Even what I'm going to talk about Danganronpa is going to be pretty short too. So as usual, for those of you who aren't interested or who do not want spoilers because you're not that far into the game, I'm going to give you a quick little minute to, skip past this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So, I've seen a few more episodes of the playthrough, of course, and I didn't really need to touch base on anything more from what I saw. It's more of okay, what's gonna happen next? So, right now, about half the group is separated, so half of them are in the hospital, the other half is in the motel, and they're all on the third island right now, because the third island just got opened up after the second trial was over, and so they got to do some exploring and stuff. And 3 of the people are sick with what's called the despair disease, and so some people are like, well, we don't want to get contagious with it, because then, someone can go crazy and kill somebody. So right now, they've quarantined who are sick, and then those who are sick. And then Mikan, who's the ultimate nurse, of course, is trying to nurse them back to health. She's more focused on Nagito, because he's the one who's been, more severe with this whole thing. And then those keeping watch are, of course, the character that you play as, Hajime, as well as my baby, Fuyuhiko. So I've been worried about him, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if something happens to him? Because, they couldn't stay at the hospital. Monokuma was like, hey, you gotta follow the rules, and the rules is you can't sleep here. And so they had to go back to their cottages, Hajime and Fuyuhiko, and stay the night there. So I'm like, oh shoot, what if someone found out? What if someone was spying on them? What if they kill my baby? Which thankfully it hasn't happened yet, and I hope it stays that way. But anyway, just to get this over and done with, my prediction as to who's gonna go is Mikan is definitely high up on the list. I think something might happen to her. One of the patients could go crazy and kill her. And then I feel like someone on the motel end is gonna die too. So, kind of mirroring Danganronpa, the first one, that third trial that we dealt with, 2 people had died, and they were a victim of the same killer. But I feel, for this case, it could go either way. There could be 1 killer and 2 victims, or it could be a killer to each victim. So I think that would be kind of a cool plot twist. So it's not exactly the same, but it almost mirrors, like I say, what happens in the first Danganronpa, where 2 people die, and it's okay, who did it, and all that stuff. So I think that would be a cool little plot twist. But anyway, enough about Danganronpa. Now we'll jump into Tower of God. So we are at episode, or chapter, however you want to see it, 323 of season 2, of course. And then I believe we're on part 9? I might be way off on that. Double checking right now. Oh, okay, we have a new different little arc here. So it's actually part 1 of the 44th floor, the last station, Evancal. Ooh, so we're going to be focusing a lot more on Evancal. I didn't notice this the first time around that I read it. So now I'm super intrigued, because I'm ooh, hey. Which makes sense, especially the chapter starts off with Evancal, and then it ends with Evancal, and the ending is just amazing. I don't know why this just got blurry, but okay. We're gonna work with it somehow. There we go. All right, I just gotta keep back here and not move. All right, so like I said, the chapter starts with Evancal and group, and they're about to pass through this gate. And so Hansang points out oh, hey, this isn't just the work of Karaka's power alone, someone else is contributing to it as well. And of course that person is Evan, right? And so I do want to give a birthday shout out. So I am involved in that Tower of God dub, right? And so the guy who voices Evan, his name is Haru, short, I guess, it's Haru Tsun X. But yeah, it was his birthday on Friday, so happy belated birthday, my dude. I actually did wish him a happy birthday on the actual day, but yeah, for the purposes of this video, it is belated, so. Alright. But yeah, no, I freaking adore Evan, and his voice actor is phenomenal. He's one of my favorites, so just had to throw that out there. But anyway, Evan had to have gotten a hold of a part of Karaka's body. Especially, it worked out because, you know how Evan, like, faced off against Karaka. Well, not necessarily faced off, but he showed up behind Karaka, so somehow he managed to kind of swipe something from Karaka. Because even, like, the thing that he's holding, I'm not even sure what to call it, but obviously we can tell it's from Karaka. And so it makes sense because Evankel and Ko have to emerge from some part of Karaka's body, and of course, they emerge from the warship, not the jail cell. So, like I said, makes complete sense that Evan has this part of Karaka's body, and he threw it into the warship, or is doing something with it, so then Evankel and all the others can emerge from there. Because if it was in the jail cell, that'd be kind of tricky, but if it's on the warship, then they're perfectly able to just, like, step outside and face off against Zahard's army. So anyway, we go to Baum and Ko, and So Young is vowing to help Baum. Wow, So was like, oh, you can't do that, like, we're gonna get ourselves killed and stuff, and, like, So Young doesn't care. She's already upset that Zahard's army killed off Ryuan, so she's like, I'm going to help the regulars, I don't give a shit about the Zahard's army and disobeying them and stuff. Which I just love that attitude, like, So Young is amazing, and I love her. But anyway, Soa takes on this position of his, right? Like, oh, we can't do this, we can't disobey them, until Hwaryun shows up. Because he gets all googly-eyed at seeing her, and he's like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And I love Andrasi's reaction to it, because she's just like, well, I'm pretty too. But I'm just, like, sitting there shaking my head. I'm like, dude, like, you're only gonna help them out now because you just saw Hwaryun and went head over heels for her. Like, alright. So then anyway, Hwaryun has something to tell Baum and team, and she prefers to talk in, like, a safer, like, more secluded place. And so Young has the right place for them to go, and she leads them to the suite, which looks really nice. And so there, Hwaryun admits that she lied about Team B and them being safe, I guess. Because as several of you guys, and myself included, have said, it's like, nah, like, the way that Team B is trying to escape seems a little bit rougher than Team A's route of escape. And that turned out to be true, and Hwaryun admitted to it. Of course, that upsets Baum, and of course that's gonna upset Andrasi, because Andrasi's like, oh, well, I, like, had such suspicions of her, right? Like, several chapters ago, when I had you guys take that poll too, I was like, hey, like, do you think Hwaryun's, like, you know, really on their side, or is she tricking them? But anyway, we'll come back to Baum and his further reaction in a little bit. We then go to Sharon. So Sharon is, like, that female Byakuya that I was talking about last time. And so she's explaining to Yuri their whole plan. So basically, the regulars in Zahard's army are just going to face off against the regulars. The rankers, along with the light bearers of Zahard's army, are going to be, like, on the outside. So then if Foog decides to show up, or, you know, any other enemies, then, you know, they'll be dealt with, like, at the start. So I'm kind of guessing, like, there's, like, this like this kind of circle thing. I can't even talk. I'll just, like, include some image of some circular thing that I'm thinking of. So yeah, after Yuri gets that whole explanation, at the very end, she's like, oh, let me join in on your operation. And of course, they're not gonna, like, turn her down. They suspect her, of course, but they're like, oh yeah, sure, if you want to join, okay. Which, you know, we all know that she's not really going to side with them. And if anything, this particular scene ends with her hoping that Evan's plan is going to work. Which it does, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So back to Baum. Like I said, he's stubborn. He's still upset with Hwaryun. He insists that he's going to go save his friends. Like, he doesn't give a shit what happens to him. Even though Hwaryun was warning him, like, hey, you cannot handle them on your own. Like, even though you're, like, really strong, you're really weak to face off against all of those people out there by yourself. And so, you know, he's still adamant on saving his friends, and he doesn't mind sacrificing his own life. And so then as he's leaving, he's telling the rest of the group, like, hey, look after Kun. If things start to go wrong, take him to Wolhaek Song and take him to Woong Yeong, because he's willing to do anything for Yuri, because he knows who Yuri is. And he's like the only one who can really help Kun wake up from his unconscious state. So that's where the scene ends with all of them. And then we go back to the Zahard's army folks, and they're all like super confident that their plan is going to be successful. And it's really cool because Drak is the first one to realize that something isn't right. Like, he feels something is off. And it's particularly on the gate generator ship. And then I do want to point out really quick, Drak has Irure with him, of course. And then he did mention to her, like, oh yeah, I'm going to let them kill you last. Like, I'm not going to let them kill you right now. And it's so weird because he looks oddly taller than her in this one image. And I'm like, something's off about this. Because he doesn't look that tall to me. Like, he's taller than Irure, sure. But there's not that much of a drastic difference between them. But anyway, it must be like some optical illusion that SIU's trying to throw at us, right? He always likes to troll us in ways, so I guess that's his way to troll us for this chapter. But anyway, Drak was right. Like, something was off, and an explosion goes off, of course, on this specific warship. And so then the battle starts to go underway between Evankel and Co. and Zahard's army, okay? And I do want to read this final bit with Evankel and Wannabe Kun, as I like to call him. I forget his name. I don't think they mentioned it this chapter, but it was the blue-haired dude from last chapter. I mean, you guys will see images of him. I'll post them. So, blue-haired dude tries to surprise attack Evankel from behind, and he's just all like, bingo! I knew it. As soon as you appeared, you're the strongest one here, aren't you? Your head is mine. And Evankel's like, well, if you're looking for someone strong, you've come to the right person. But I'm a lot stronger than you bargained for. And so there's this like big ass dragon thing in the background. Like, this is like such a huge image. And blue-haired dude's like, what the? I can sense something scary within her. And then Evankel's like, if you want to play with me, send someone else. You're no match for me. And freaking Evankel, like, just, I don't even know. Some light emanates from her fist, and it breaks, or it shatters, using other words, fancy words. It shatters that weapon that the blue-haired dude had, and that's where the chapter ends. So, like I said, it's very fitting that the arc has the name Evankel, because Evankel was the one to start off the chapter and to end it. And I'm pretty sure we're going to pick up on these two at the start of next week's chapter. And what's gonna happen? I don't know. I mean, Evankel is probably gonna kill this dude. I bet you this dude's gonna get upset that, like, his weapon got broken or something. And I don't know, he's gonna attempt something stupid against Evankel, and then he's just gonna get killed off. So, bye-bye, Mr. Kun Wannabe, as I like to call him. But yeah, otherwise, I didn't really have much theories, aside from that, I guess, for this chapter. And I mean, even with all the points that I covered for this review, there weren't a lot of things for me to, like, really make theories on. The only thing that I could think of at the end, after I, like, read the chapter and wrote out my notes and, you know, tried to brainstorm some kind of theory ideas, of course, Bomb is going to get help from Evankel in group. And I think it's going to be really cool for him to reunite with the original, the OG Han Sung, because it was really cool when he was able to team up with the young version of Han Sung on the hidden floor. But now it's like, oh, hey, like, you guys get to meet again after years, you know, and it's like, at first, you know, you kind of despise Han Sung because, you know, he was one of the masterminds behind killing off Bomb in first season. But then it's like, oh, well, hey, like, we're buddies now. Let's just team up and, like, get rid of Zahard's army right now. So I think it'll be an interesting reunion to see. I don't know how it'll go down. That's my thought process of how it could be. It might end up being something completely different. But yeah, Bomb isn't going to be the only one facing off against Zahard's army out there. He's going to see that group. And of course, that group is dead set on getting rid of the Zahard's army, so it's beneficial for Bomb. And it's beneficial for Vankel and group to have Bomb on their side as well. So, I'm sorry again, the freaking camera just keeps getting all blurry. I need to figure out what to do with that thing. But anyway, that is it for this week. Again, I tried to find blog notes on both Reddit and the Tower of God Wikia page, but I couldn't find it. So if you guys have any links that you suggest or any other websites that I can go to find these blogs, I would appreciate that. Just comment it below. And be sure to comment your theories and thoughts below. Help me come up with theories because I didn't really have anything for this week. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.